Hello everyone, I am Rachel from mercifulmornings.com, and this is the place you come when you want education, encouragement, and support for your online teaching journey and also just daily life. I have been talking with a lot of teachers lately, a lot of drowning, tired teachers, and if that is you, this is your video today. I have heard, most recently, I've been talking to teachers, doing surveys here and there, and the top two things, you can let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but the top two things I'm hearing are the biggest struggles for teaching online or virtually, hybrid, remote, whatever you want to call it. The two biggest struggles right now are time management, how do we get it all done, and student engagement and interaction. That second one is what we're going to talk about today. So before we jump into it, if you have not already subscribed to this channel, make sure you do it and hit the bell so you are notified whenever a new video posts or when I go live. It's a new fun thing I'm doing lately. I do go live sometimes on this channel and you don't want to miss it. So be sure you're subscribed and click the bell. Let's get into today's topic. Okay. How do we get these students engaged in class through a computer screen? Here's the deal. I've been doing this online education thing for about 3.5 years now. It takes a while to get used to that format when you're used to the brick and mortar classroom, right? So if this is you, or if you have been teaching online and you're just struggling to keep those students engaged, listen up. I've got 5 tips that are going to help you get those students engaged, interacting, and staying on task in your classroom. Some of these, you got to kind of get creative, especially with older students, but you can do that. You're a teacher. I believe in you. So here is the first tip for student engagement and interaction: props. I know, especially for the older students, this might sound kind of weird, but it helps when you're not the only thing on the screen. If I just sit here and talk the whole time, you're not as engaged. But if I bust out something else, like a monkey eating bananas, are you paying attention now? Check it out, I've got a monkey eating bananas. Okay, for the little kids, that's an amazing tool. Now, it doesn't always have to be, hey, look at me, I have a crazy tool. Sometimes it's something that goes along with your lesson, right? You have actual real things that go with your lesson. If you are teaching about letters, letter sounds, and you have the letter A, maybe you actually have an apple. You could even get the kids going and finding their own apple. But the point is, you have other things to bring into the picture to bring their attention back to you, right? If you have little bitties, you can do puppets. If you have older kids, whatever your topic is, if you have a real life example of whatever it is you're discussing, or a book to show, or pictures, something like that, props engage and get them more involved. All right, so number 1 is props. Number 2 is rewards. Okay, now with the littles, again, this is a little bit easier because even if it's stickers, now I know with the virtual classroom, you can't actually like give them a sticker, but I have discovered that kids love stickers even through the virtual world. If you just have a piece of paper, let me show you mine. One of my students loves stickers. I have a whole notebook full of stickers that she has chosen. And every time she does a good job, we put a sticker on the page. Each day has different stickers, okay? And I have a lot of different kinds. I got a big old book for really cheap on Amazon of stickers, and she loves them. So stickers is one option. If you need something a little more creative, maybe they get to have lunch with the teacher in a Zoom session or a Google Meet or something. Lunch with the teacher for kids is kind of fun for some reason. I don't always know why, but if a small group gets rewarded with lunch with the teacher, you still are just sitting at home eating your lunch, but maybe you have a Zoom session where you eat together or something like that. So get creative. What are things you would do in the classroom? How can you translate that into the virtual classroom? You can do things with a whiteboard, keeping score on things, or maybe they get an extra few minutes to play a game. Those are all awesome rewards. All right, so first we're doing props, next we're doing rewards. Third is TPR. Do you know what this is? It's a big term in the ESL world. When you're teaching English as a second language, you use a lot of TPR, which just stands for total physical response. You might notice as I'm sitting here talking to you, my hands are going crazy. And yes, I do that anyway because I used to interpret for the deaf community, but it's also because I've been teaching online for so long, and I know that when I move, when I am saying, I want you to look around, or if I want to make sure you are the one speaking, I'll say, what do you think? This lets you know I'm listening to you now. Things like that feel a little silly when you're first doing it, but again, it gets them more engaged. It gets them interacting. When I do this, you know I'm waiting for you to speak. It's not just me sitting here like that, you know. Those physical, I don't even have to say, okay, it's your turn, talk, please say something. No. It's a powerful tool. Or, what do you see? Let's all look at the computer screen together. Can you find whatever? Again, for the littles, the more exaggerated, the better. It's like a theater production up in here for your little bitties, right? For the older ones, just being more engaging with your hands, being more physically involved. It's okay to be like, hey, it's your turn, let's go. You're not being babyish about it. You're just prompting them physically, letting them know what you expect, and that's okay. Or if they're giving you one-word answers, you can be like, let's drag that out a little more. Longer sentences, please. That's okay to do. So use your hands, use your body. TPR, total physical response. It lets them know you're engaged, so then they are more engaged. All right, we've done 3. Our 4th one is movement. And I don't mean just more TPR, I mean movement. You are up and moving, and your students are up and moving. Couple of examples, and then I'm just gonna let you get creative with it. If you are working on counting, maybe you're counting how many jumping jacks you're doing. If you are learning colors, maybe you are going on a scavenger hunt around the house. Everybody go find me something blue and bring it back. By the time I count down from 10, 10, 9, they hear you counting as they go through the house, and they have to be back in their seat by the time you're done counting with something that's blue. Again, these are for younger classes that I'm mentioning, but you know your students, you know your subject, okay? You can get creative. How can they be moving? Maybe you just need to take a brain break and everybody move around, and you have a quick activity, jumping jacks, squats, running in place, whatever it is that gets them up and so they're not just sitting and staring at that screen forever. Do you enjoy sitting and staring at a screen forever? No, none of us do. Get them up, get them moving, take those brain breaks, have fun. The very last one is pacing. You will notice as I go through these things, I'm trying to get through it. Next topic, next topic, next topic. And I'm letting you know, and next, because if you just go on and you're talking and you go on listen, you're already done, right? You've tuned out. You've got to keep things moving. Kids right now, and adults, don't have a long attention span. We just don't. We're too used to television and computers and video games and things that go like this. So if you have some kind of presentation, if you've made slides, switch them up quickly, get them going. Doesn't mean you have to like talk super fast. Like, who is that guy, the Micro Machine Man? Okay, if you remember the Micro Machine commercials, I need to hear from you in the comments. Does anybody else remember that guy? He talks so fast. You don't have to be that guy, but you do have to keep things moving. One activity to the next, one sentence, one slide to the next, keep it going. So, top 5 tips I have for student engagement in the virtual classroom. I want you to have props. Get creative. I want you to come up with rewards that are age appropriate for your students and the topic that you are teaching. I want you to use TPR. Even if it feels kind of silly and awkward, it will help. So use that total physical response in your teaching. I want you to move, and I want your students to move, whether that is somehow integrated into your lesson, or if you are just taking brain breaks and moving around and then sitting back down. That's okay. Move. And the fifth one is pacing. You got to keep the lessons going. You can't let things drag out. If they are not engaged in doing things with you, they're gone. All right? That is it for today. If you are new to online teaching and you need some help setting up your classroom, check below in the description box. I've been getting a lot of comments on this lately. I have a free setup guide for your classroom that will give you some tips and tricks. Some of the things in there are geared toward VIP kid because we need a little more help that way, but overall, it is helpful for setting up your virtual classroom, so be sure to check that out. If you are not yet teaching online on your own and are interested in that, I do coach with applying with OutSchool, and there are videos for that if you want to know what OutSchool is. And there's a checklist below that you can grab to help you get through that process. I also have a course creation template for creating your own online classes. All of that below in the description box. Be sure you grab it, and be sure you like this video if it was helpful, and share it. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.